Should you be good at the debugger, Uncle Bob? Let's see how to say. Hello, I'm Chris. I'm a KMP developer. Tech Support said they're coming out Tuesday, is what they told me. We'll see, right? Okay, we're going to listen to Uncle Bob. I have not previewed this. I have not watched this. This is coming in, first time viewing it. I have mixed opinions about this Uncle Bob character. Some of the stuff it says is all right for some purposes, and sometimes it's just like, whoa, have you even considered this case? Or you make it sound like this is holy gospel, but and really it's just good for certain purposes. Let's see what's going on. Let's get it going.
What would your life be like if everything worked a minute ago? And this was always true. Everything worked a minute ago. How much debugging would you do? Who's good at the debugger?
I'm pretty good at it because if you're doing back end, pure just only back end code, I mean, yeah, you might be able to get away with this TDD stuff. But if you're doing front end code with all these multiple threads and things changing, and you got to put this button over here, put this over there, you can't really do TDD. So this is one of the things that definitely one of the beefs I have with Uncle Bob is, have you ever written some UI code? And by the way, can we see some of the code that you have written in applications you've written? Can we see some of that stuff? Or is that off limits? Okay, let's keep going. And by the way, this is the DevTools Made Simple guy. He puts this stuff in here, which is some sorting algorithms. Let's keep going.
Who's got the debug foo in their fingertips? You know all the hotkeys.
I love it.
I said breakpoints and watch points, and then break 6 times over here, and then break 7 times over here, and wait.
You have to. If you're doing UI stuff, you have to. If you're doing back-end stuff, you might be able to get away with it. But if you're doing front-end stuff, oh, come on, man.
For this variable to be a 37, you can really debug.
Yeah.
This is not a skill to be desired.
Yes, it is. Are you doing front-end code, sir? Are you doing just back-end stuff? If you're doing back-end stuff, I can understand. But if you're doing front-end stuff, I want to see how you put it all together, because I have yet to see that. And he doesn't describe it. He never mentions it. He's always talking. He's assuming you're a back-end developer. So I guess that's why back-end developers love this guy. Is because they don't have to consider what doing UI work is like, and it's like flip the opposite. We have to guess and put the UI up there to see if it goes, and then we might eventually get around to, if we feel like it, implementing a test that makes that thing real. Because if we're going to change it every 2 seconds, then we're adding stuff to it or removing whole screens. Why build tests for screens we're not going to use?
You don't want to be good at the debugger. The only way you get good at the debugger is to spend a lot of time debugging. I don't want you to spend a lot of time debugging.
Well, who does? Who does? But when you have multiple streams of all kinds of stuff happening at the same time, you can't predict all the things ahead of time, sir. I know you want to. We really would like. It would be nice to have these applications set up to be that way. Kotlin's getting close. KMP is getting close, but we're not quite there yet. And it's sad. It's sad that we're in 2025. We're still not got this UI stuff taken care of. Now we got snapshots and this other stuff. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's getting better than what we've had before, which is all manual stuff, and very fragile. Very fragile.
For you, I want the debugger to be a tool that you use once a month. And
brittle. That's the word, is brittle. You change one thing, all your sweet changes. So a change that should take 2 minutes takes 10 a day and a half, 3 days, because you got to go clean up all the tests. It's like, man.
Forgotten all the hotkeys. You don't know how the heck to do a breakpoint or a step into or a step over.
It's not that hard. What do you mean? It's right there on the UI, buddy. What are you talking about?
How I want your relationship with the debugger to be is I don't want you spending a lot of time debugging. Now, do I use a debugger? Yeah, but not very often. And even when I do use a debugger, I use it for an extremely brief period of time because I set a breakpoint in some test that's failing and I step, oh, some dumb thing I did over there. Because whatever it was, I did it a minute ago.
For your back-end stuff, yes, that's true. But for front-end stuff, he hasn't explained it.
Now, I could tell you that by following these 3 laws, you would
reduce... Oh, it's a laws. He has some laws now. And if you follow the laws by the letter, do you mean you automatically get success?
Your debug time by some very large fraction.
Oh, is it? Can you have proofs of that? You have some studies done? Mr. Famous Uncle Bob book conference course deal. You have some studies about that? No, just throw it out there. Let it stand. All right.
Keep that in mind.
All right, that's enough for now. And yeah, give me a like, subscribe. Go over there, give DevTools Made Simple. I'll leave the thing in the deedly do below. And I'll see you in the next one. I get to rant some more.